This is not your first Boston rodeo show by a long shot.
No, I do a lot of Boston. I'm not really sure why. But
okay, yeah, I mean, I've got just off the top of this card here, Patriots Day, Black Mass, Mystic River.
Yeah.
So you've got the accent down pat?
Well, I don't know about that. Down Pat's.
Down pig, yes.
See what I did there?
I do see what you did there. That's worthy of a nice little golf clap.
Thank you so much.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that. No, you know, I like to say that if you're from Boston, you're never going to like somebody doing a Boston accent.
Ever, right?
People from Boston don't even like people from Boston doing Boston accents. He doesn't sound authentic. But I...
By the way, that did sound authentic.
You know, and that's weird because I'm from Philly, and yet it's maybe like the sixth thing I've done there. I met my wife in Boston. We fell in love in Boston, so it has a lot of fond place in my heart. And
right.
I really like working there. You know, and one of the good things about being able to work actually in the city is that if you are trying to do a Boston dialect, which is not the easiest one in the world, you're surrounded by it. Because the guys that are going to pick you up at the hotel and drive you, you know, especially, you know, all the Teamsters, you know, they're going to be the real deal.
So just put your ear to the ground and
absolutely,
and then you get going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, so how often did you shoot in Boston? You shot the whole thing there?
We shot the whole the pilot and the last episode.
Okay.
Some of the, you know, it's 1992, and interestingly enough, there's a lot of parts of Yonkers and of Staten Island look a little bit more like Boston than Boston.
You shot it in Staten Island?
Mm-hmm.
That's my hometown.
Is it
Staten
really?
Island. It is that.
Yeah. We shot quite a bit in Staten Island. We shot in Brooklyn. We shot a lot in Yonkers. So you know, it just ended up making more sense.
So when you were in Boston, was it during any sort of? Well, I mean, you could choose any damn time of the year, and it's championship time lately in Boston sports. Were you there during a World Series run, or
no?
During a Super
We were
Bowl
there.
Run at all?
No, we were actually there. What we were there for is like the biggest snowstorm in Boston history, or something like that.
Okay.
It was I guess February of 2018 or 9. I can't even remember. It was about a year ago. We got completely dumped on, and just kept shooting. You know, there's a great scene in the pilot where I'm talking to the DeCourcy Ward character played by Aldous Hodge, and in the background, we're in front of this big, you know, kind of plate glass window. You just see this crazy storm going on. But outside, there was this poor extra that all night had to walk back and forth, like holding this umbrella. And we as we sat there, we literally just saw the snow go like this. But I can tell you that when we were going back for the final episode, there was a real roll of the dice because a lot of the location had all to do with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Because if the Bruins had won, a lot of our locations would be not good because the parade would have been going by or whatever. So everyone was like consistently, you know, the poor production manager, she couldn't care less about hockey, but she's constantly watching because she's trying to figure out where our locations are going to be, and it was interesting. It was amusing. I mean, I think it would have been fun to be there if they had won.
Well, I mean, it is, I guess. You know, and he's from the New England area over there, Chris Brockman over there. I give it to you. It's difficult to shoot these days in Boston because you never know if there is a parade that's going to mess with your shooting schedule.
There you go.
Kevin Bacon here on the Rich Eisen Show. So two of the, you know, I'm sure you're asked this all the time. I'll ask it anyway. Affleck and Damon, do you guys go way back? Do you know these guys?
Not at all. No.
Did they call you for this? I mean, how'd you get involved in City on a Hill?
Ben Affleck had an idea, as far as I know, for this show, and he related to a young writer that he knew and had I guess worked with before. Had been developing something named Chuck McLean, and Chuck is a really kind of brilliant young man with a incredible, for his age, incredible sense of Boston history and of American history and in general, and also films. And he's one of those guys that, you know, I just go, man, your hard drive is big because it's just the amount of information that he can hold there. And he has he writes beautifully, and he took this idea of Ben's and just ran with it. And then Showtime came to me, and I sat down with the director and with Chuck, and you know, when I read it, this project seemed to drop out of the sky a little bit, which makes me always think, who fell out? I always think to myself, who did they have that just, got indicted or whatever? I mean, how did I get this gig? But
after all this time, that goes through your head.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm always shocked that anybody, wants to give me a good gig anymore. I mean, I just felt like the part was so juicy that I sort of thought to myself, wouldn't everybody want to play this guy? But I don't know. Maybe some people are scared of this kind of material. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're awesome in it. Jackie Rohr, the FBI agent, who I'm hoping has a little bit more good in him than what I've already seen so far. And City on a Hill.
I don't know.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
For more of the Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.